Hi, loves. Welcome to a new week of AW Villa Vibes. Week 4 just turned the villa into a battlefield. Casa Amor's aftermath has couples in pieces and Anaya in tears. Egos flaring and hearts straight up fumbled. And here with me to break down the drama is my co host, Avani B.
Hey
And
y'all.
we have been talking about this for the past 24 hours. I barely slept. The threads are on fire, like literally on fire.
Between threads, TikTok, Instagram,
I haven't
Instagram
even,
comments, TikTok comments. It's bad.
I haven't
It's
even,
bad, dude.
I mean, I don't even, I want to go to the beginning because if we get into last night's drama,
Mm,
all it's going to do,
You're right, you're
that's
right.
all we're going to talk about.
Yep, you're right.
So the first thing I want to talk about, so the Casa, everyone seems like they're getting along. Bryce and Trinity are in their, I don't know, honeymoon phase still. KC is still kind of, I don't know. I still think he always wanted to explore. Casa just gave him the excuse to explore. But I think
Mm.
he always wanted to do that.
I point out because see, this is why I love things like threads because some people are full-on detectives and they remember everything, they write everything down. And I didn't realize that that man KC was telling other people different things about how he felt about that situation. Because to Soul and Bryce, he wanted to explore. To Anaya, he was fine where he was at. To the boys, I forgot what he said, but he was saying different things to different people. And so now, like, I'm like, you were legitimately like you were changing all of like what you were saying and not in like the it's just because like I'm trying to protect people, but like no, you were dead ass changing everything that you said to different people and you were communicating it differently.
Well, so he goes, so they're going about their business. The boys get pulled into casa and literally all hell breaks loose because these guys were like sowing their, what is it? Sow your wild oats. They were really exploring, except for
Mhm.
maybe Bryce. Bryce really looked
Oh,
depressed and
damn
just,
it.
I gotta say,
They
he's
definitely
kind
were
of,
watching him because
yeah.
that I'm telling you that man was ready to jump over that thing and swim to the villa. He wanted to go home.
And then these challenges. I mean, I was like, what is going on? The licking, the nibbling, the kissing, the dancing, which wasn't really dancing, the
Well,
sucking. I was like, what is going
we'll get
on? What
into
is
that. We'll
happening
get
here?
into that challenge after. Let's start at the heart rate challenge, or yeah, the heart rate challenge, I guess, when they first introduced the girls.
Well,
First of all, I was not expecting that to be broadcasted to the girls as it was.
oh, that was a surprise for me.
And then when Ariana said later on, yeah, they got that unedited, I was gagged. I was like, "Wait."
Dude, producers are on fire.
Honestly, the moment I saw that they did it like that though, I understood exactly why. Because everybody was acting way too closed off. And especially for the producers, they for a good few episodes now, they were telling people, y'all need to be exploring. And they were doing it obviously through Ariana. How many times did Ariana come in during a recoupling or whatever and say, guys, continue exploring, explore, 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 explore. And
Well,
nobody
I
was doing that.
actually want to ask you about that. So, the girls go through their mourning period, and then the next day, what is it? Double your pleasure. Instead of 6 boys, they bring in 12 boys, which was a nice surprise because the girls got to explore too. But now that you're talking about exploring, do you think Kenzie is playing both sides or just embracing the Love Island chaos, like what she's supposed to be doing? Because I don't know. Like I feel like she loves her options.
I think she does too, and I think but I also think at the same time that like she's doing the experience in the way that she's supposed to. Like and but again, I
Fair.
want to before because there's a lot of like back and forth with that statement alone, and it's she's doing it respectfully to people. She's not disrespectful about it. I just want to say that. Well, no, because then again, Jen was also getting to know other people once she saw that Kenzie was getting to know Gaul.
Yes.
So
Sh-
then she started pulling the other guy.
Ronnie.
Was it Ronnie? Yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah.
So then Jen started like getting to know Ronnie as well while getting to know Gaul. And it's like that's what I think
Gal
is that's
doesn't seem. I don't know. I don't see the chemistry. I see more like a friends vibe.
I mean this very respectfully.
Although
Um,
she claims that men drool over her, so I don't know.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean this very respectfully. I don't see a lot of the vibe that she says she has with people.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Maybe
nothing
she's
like
shocked.
yeah, maybe and maybe that's what it is, like, cause I mean, even with Gabriel, I didn't really see it that much. It like, I think they had a great sexual connection, but I didn't see
Yeah.
that, like, spark or whatever it was she kept talking about, and it's the same thing
Yeah.
with, like, Gaul. I wasn't really seeing that.
I still don't see
But
it.
maybe it's because he also seems to have a fairly mellowed out personality, so
He's into Kenzie.
yeah.
And Kenzie's again, there we go again. Kenzie's having her
It's
cake and eating it too because she likes Dylan, but she also likes Gab.
I also, like, sometimes I wonder with her, I'm like, it's does she feel that there are things in one person that she's not or, like, things missing from one that she's finding in the other, but that those things are also missing from that person that she's finding in the other, and is
Well,
that
no
where
one
she
person is gonna have
well,
everything
no,
you
like,
want.
obviously not, but I'm like, I don't know, it's just like a devil's advocate, like,
I
is
think
she,
they
like,
just
seeing
have
certain
the
qualities?
smell of gasoline in common. That was such a weird conversation.
I don't even remember that conversation, to be honest with you.
Gal and Kenzie, they were talking about this how much they love the smell of gas. No, of oil. Was it oil? I thought it was gasoline. Maybe it's not. It's oil or some motor oil, something like that. You don't remember that? Anyway, I thought that was
I
quite
must have chosen
interesting.
to selectively listen to that conversation because I don't remember that at all.
So you think she's just doing what she's supposed to be doing?
Yeah,
So then Casey's doing the same thing, right?
Casey's doing it disrespectfully because it's never been the thing is, I
This is
think
Corbin, by the way.
well, so
He
here's the
is.
no, but here's the biggest thing. I've never had an issue with, and I've been very vocal here about people going to explore. I've never had an issue with
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
I think that's what you should be doing. My issue becomes when you begin to speak about people and act disrespectfully towards the
He's that.
people. Well, it was yeah, it was all those little things. It was the I don't give a fucks. It was the I already forgot this person. This person's out the window already. I don't care. I didn't actually have feelings for this. Like once you start
It
getting
was
there,
yeah.
now I'm like, that's where I think to hell with you being Dora the Explorer, you can leave because I don't like when you sit and shit on the person that you were getting to know for 4 weeks and you seem very adamant on liking this person
And
and you
and sh
start to shit on them to other people
and
because
the
think
thing
that
is,
because you
it's
think you're the shit.
unwarranted. Like, why?
Exactly,
Well,
and
I
the
don't get
thing
the
is,
why.
and, like, I've never been somebody that's like, "You know what? Give me movie night, give me movie night." Now I'm like,
I
"Give
want
me a
movie
movie
night.
night," because I specifically wanted to expose how these boys were talking about these girls, and to show how the girls were still being respectful about
Yeah.
their previous couple while they were still getting to know other people. That is where my big thing is, because I don't like when you go behind my back and you start talking shit about me so that you can make yourself look cool to somebody else. And the thing is that the Casa girls seeing how they spoke about the girl like the Villa girls, that gave them the in their heads, it gave them the right to start talking shit about them as well. Because we don't normally have that.
I don't know. I think I'm not sure when it happens. I think Casey walking into Casa and feeling like big man on campus. Like literally, I made a joke, but I was serious. Like
Oh,
it's
because
almost
his
like he put
stock was gonna go up.
exactly. So I just think his ego got bigger than the villa, literally,
They all
because
thought they became bigger than the
it
program.
was like he was walking, it was like a rooster walking into a hen house. I know I made a joke about it, but it's true because, and then I think
Mhm.
it was who somebody asked him, like, oh, are you happy for Anaya if she was to find something? And he was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it was just the
Well,
way
that
he
whole
carried himself.
conversation no,
He
but that
went,
whole conversation, because then Sincere asked him, like, oh, so he was like, "Oh, Anaya's on basically on a walking a thin line with me right now, blah, blah,
yes.
blah." And then Sincere was like, "Don't you think you're walking a thin line too?" And he was like, "No, I get leeway because I was breathing life into her every day in that
Oh,
villa."
that line. We
I'm
know
like,
that line got you.
"You breathing life into her?"
Yeah, that
I'm
was
like, "Don't." I was like, "Casey, don't start. Do not
it.
start." Breathe
So the guy that came in, the guy with what remember the plant moment? That guy and this guy are two separate things.
no, no, not. I
I
thought
found it interesting because you kept saying there's something off about him.
and,
Remember?
like and I also feel kinda stupid because at one point, I was like, "You know what? He seems to be, like, the level-headed of the villa for a while,
Someone on
especially
Threads
in
called
certain."
him sadistic. I was like, Jeez, that's
But
harsh.
like there were moments where I was like, you know what, Casey's like kind of right with certain things. Like he was like trying to keep Mel in check when the whole soul thing happened, and I was like, yes, Casey, as you should. And there were moments where I definitely thought Anaya was kind of like
But this is a
you
different.
know, but I do want to say I always thought the way that he went about the plant door was performative. Especially because of the wording that he used when he said why he chose that door. Because on one hand, he was like, "Well, I like plants, and I'm not really a dog or cat person." But then at the same time, he was also like, "I thought it was being edgy, and I thought the girls were gonna pick that." So then that was why he went with it.
Okay.
So then I was like, "So you didn't go with the plant door because you wanted to, you're just not a pet person. So for you, it was a plant. It was because you thought that
That's what
at
they
least one
want.
of the girls were gonna pick
Yeah.
plants."
Okay,
And
that's
I'm
fair.
like, if you give somebody the option of a dog or a cat or a plant, they're probably gonna go with the emotional support animal that
Yeah.
is gonna give them that like what is it like serotonin? Like it's gonna help boost their like their morale or
I'm a
whatever you
dog
want to call
lover,
it.
so I don't know. But I
But
want to go back. I want to, I don't want to
mhm.
keep him out of the conversation because I think he's just such a character. And since,
No, it's Lord Farquaad now. It's Lord. I'm sorry. That's it. It's Lord Farquaad.
oh,
That shorty
wait,
came in. She looked at him. She was like,
gotta, I don't even know where to start with Insincere. Sorry, Sincere. I keep calling him
"It's
Insincere,
Lord
but
Farquaad. I don't care."
do you, I don't even know where to start with this guy. Like, first of all, do you think he came back and he really is staying true to Melanie, or you
No,
think, damn, I didn't even finish?
sorry. I'm gonna let you
No.
finish, and then I'll say.
And the analogies, man, the analogies are killing me. Like, I want
I'm telling you,
straight up, I would like
that
some
man,
moments of straight up English, but
that
he
man
talks
saw
in like,
Anaya and he said, "Let me raise you three pies." That is what he said. Like he said, "Let me raise you three pies." I have not heard a single. We have not gone a single episode without him busting out with at least five analogies. I'm like,
I have
shut up,
analogies and some mispronunciations that I don't want
epitome.
to
That
emerge
this is the
instead of
epitome
immerse.
of
I was
Casa
like, what are
Amor.
you doing, dude? I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone, but I was like,
Um,
if
I'm
it's,
sorry.
you
Epitome
don't
is
use the big
crazy.
words. If
Reason why
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But
If a night to he said epitome.
sign language, I didn't know Sincere knew sign language. That was
That
quite
man said
interesting.
no, because when I heard he said, "Oh yeah, I know sign language," I said, "No, the fuck you don't." The first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "I think this is a." I was like, "Bitch, oh, shut up, shut up." He said, "Yeah, that was my minor." I saw somebody said that he learned sign language to learn how to lie to deaf people.
Oh my
I
god,
was like,
that's off.
y'all
That's
are
so bad.
OD because you know the
That's
whole thing
bad.
with his hands.
That's bad.
Because you know, if you have, I have one fish here and one fish here.
That's so bad. Okay,
No,
moving on.
I swear to you,
So
that wasn't my. Those
that was,
weren't.
I know that wasn't you.
That was threads. But I was
I
like,
mean, we do comb through threads to see what people are
I just
saying.
thought
So
I was like, yo, y'all are mad funny out here. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna lie.
I gotta laugh. I mean, some of the stuff is crazy.
No, that's why, because I'm like, I have to laugh. If not, I'm gonna sit here and be mad the entire time, like for 24 hours until the next
Well,
episode.
you know what pissed me off? Because every week I mean, he's consistent. He is consistent, but not in a
Mm-hmm.
good way. Not in a
Mm-mm.
good way. The
Mm.
fact that he said, "Oh, I forgot about Melanie while I'm here."
That same morning.
And in the same breath, when he gets back to the villa, he says, or before he got to the villa, he says, "It's killing me. It was killing me being without her." I'm like, okay, which one is it, dude? Because he definitely plays both sides. I
You
think
know
he
what?
could keep track
Look,
of his lying either.
no, he can't. But here's the thing, is that, and it's why I said no so fast earlier. Like he does. We obviously I don't think he knows that he's lying, but he been lying.
Oh, he believes his own bullshit.
Believes it. And my thing is that he definitely has that. He looks at Melanie as I could do whatever I want because I know you're gonna still be there.
Well, the crazy thing, and I think I kind of spoke to you about
I
this
thought
because
she
you
woke
were
up for a
like, how
second.
could, nope, I knew it. And I told you when I was in my 20s, Sincere, that guy, I know that guy. I've dated that guy. So I knew that Melanie, hands down, even though Corey did all these nice things and he seemed to be into her, and,
Yeah,
but
definitely. I wasn't sure if I could trust him as far as I could throw him,
I
but
wasn't 100% sure, but he did go out of his way, and maybe it was
even
because he
though that was
wanted
the
to stay in the.
only him and Dylan were the only ones to date to have done like a date for their even though they weren't coupled like officially for their like couple. By now, usually we would have all those boys doing some kind of date.
But I knew that Melanie and Anaya were gonna choose.
Oh,
They were
Anaya,
gonna stay in
I
their couples.
respectfully
I
to
knew
Anaya,
it
I knew
because
she wasn't gonna
I've
get
been
up.
that girl.
I knew Anaya wasn't gonna get up.
You knew she was
Yeah.
gonna stay in her
And like
couple?
realistic, yeah, of course I did. Like, and realistically, I also kind of knew with Melanie, I was just hoping after, especially after she made the whole comment about like to the girls about like how would you feel if or how would we feel if like our daughter came back to us saying the same thing
Oh, yeah,
and
that was
she was like, nah, I dead ass need to get up. And I was like, oh my God, this girl finally woke up.
yeah.
But then again, I knew also when we first entered Casa Amor time and they were watching that like the live stream of what the boys were doing and she was the only one that was in a pairing that was super quiet. And I was sitting there like, it's because she knows who that man is and she's still gonna continue to choose him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, although Sincere was the least vocal of them, that man looked like he was ready to start committing some sins, if you will. Live up.
Well, he was very much into Amora. So, do you think Amora's gonna come back and blow up his game? Because I know who I
You
voted
know,
for.
I voted not for him, but for Melanie. And up until now, she has not been one of my most favorite Islanders. However, at the same time, I'm like, girl, I need you to get up. Stop letting that man treat you like that. Because
I
you called him
know.
out. You had everything to say
Well,
about how he was disrespectful and how
and
after
she still
the letter and that you still chose him. And that man did not look at you and genuinely say that he was sorry.
and those by
He
the
said that he'll
way,
try to do better.
I'm
Let's see him
telling
try to
you,
do better
this
with
is
Amora
like
walking up in this
reliving
bitch.
my 20s all over again. It was so disturbing, and I thank God that you are smarter, wiser, and you're so much more awake because being that girl, it's heartbreaking. It's
I
disheartening because it's like you believe the best in people. So I get where she's coming from. You're like, oh my God, he really cares. That whole thing about, oh, he's gonna change. I, I'm guessing that's what her mentality is. She's like, no,
maybe.
he's gonna change. And that was what that moment was about when after she said, I'm gonna stay in my couple, he came in and he just
And if she started cursing him out, I was like, what? Like, Melanie, no. Go take your ton and come back.
And and
No.
and by the way,
I do
because
want to say
I
though, sorry.
yeah.
I just want to say real quick, I know we're not often very in favor of Kenzie, but I do have to give it to her in comparison. When she
Oh,
has said that I'm done with this situation, that I don't like how this has
yeah.
made me feel, she doesn't come back to it. She's like, I'm done, and that is now behind me. Because she said it about Zach not liking certain comments, and he never saw those blue eyes again. She said, no, he's not gonna look at my eyes, and we have not seen them talk. Maybe they do talk low key, but we have not seen them talk. She said that when she saw how Corbin was acting night one at Casa,
We haven't even covered
she
Corbin.
said, I'm not doing this with Corbin no more. And she said, I'm not talking to Corbin. And she said her
And
final piece at that fire pit, and she was like, that's it.
but
And
I
like,
think that's the difference. Kenzie and I have my issues with Kenzie, you know that.
oh
But
yeah.
she has stayed true to herself. And I
And
think
I gotta give it to her.
100%. And I think as women, we often put other people first, and whether that's in a relationship or work, whatever.
Yeah.
And Melanie, not just Melanie, but Anaya broke my heart because she said all these things about Carl. I got to bring this moment up because it's like,
Carl, you're coming back, sweetheart. You coming back. Don't worry. Don't unpack your bag. You're coming back. We are
she
riding
said
for Carl.
all these nice
Carl.
things. They
Sorry.
had a really nice exchange. He seems smart, put together. I heard that he was actually invited in. He didn't apply to go to the island,
That man
but
was gonna start crying for her.
I know he was like
He
under
was
his breath. He was
he
like,
w-
"It's okay.
he
It's
said, it's
oh
okay,
my
Naya.
God, bring
It's,
him back."
I'm like, I'm like, that is the
And the
man that will support you in
but
everything.
but then the way Casey walked in with TT and completely annihilated Anaya's feelings. No regard.
And then
And
when he
it
tried
was
to flip it on her,
it was well, he's a gaslighter, so that's
oh
not
yeah.
surprising.
But It's like,
That's the definition.
I'm
I
like,
mean, that's what they do. But it broke my
you're a
heart.
bitch.
Yeah, but
I,
you just knew. You knew.
that's the thing. And like, I
And then
felt
no,
sad for
and then
her,
you
but
know
I
what was
also wasn't
concerning?
surprised.
But you know what was concerning when Anaya said, "He's already written me off." I'm like, "Are you
I'm
fucking
like,
kidding me? You
girl,
need
do
to
he not?
write him." I was like, "What are you doing, girl?"
I'm like, that man and his girl are not worried about you. She's laughing at
Wow.
you, and he don't give a fuck.
In
He's
Love
there
Island's
quiet.
history, I have never ever seen Islanders switch it up like that. I was like, "What show are we
Now,
watching?"
is this bad girls?
I
All
mean,
the sadness left her body for a second. She was
and
concerned.
the worst part is Casey is just standing there like
Yeah, because he
like they're
loves to be the
fighting
center
for
of
me.
attention.
Well, he's insecure as fuck.
Yeah, but
So
no, but it's also like, and
makes
so
him feel
here's the thing,
like
and I've been seeing a lot of people, and I do agree with this. I've been seeing a lot of people mention how like these girls, Parmida,
we haven't
I don't
even
remember her name,
gotten to
and Parmida and what that girl named TT, both of them are fighting for guys that they've known for 3 days, right? They've only known these guys for 3 days. I personally, maybe this makes me smart. I don't know. Do you think I'm trusting the word of a man I've known for 3 days over girls that have known him for 3 weeks, who have been around that man 24/7 and are literally saying this was a switch? And if you think that if he did it to her, you think he's not gonna do it to you? And they're like, nah, I know my man. Who the fuck
uh,
do you know, Casper?
it was
I'm
all
sorry, but like,
well, although Corbin's
why?
not that hard to read. The wait, Corbin's not that hard to
You're
read.
hot, I'm hot. I had
We're
to
per
pursue it.
Oh my god. I could not believe I was listening to that. I was like, what's happening here?
And I'm sitting here looking at Parmita like, because then she's bringing up, oh yeah, do you remember what I texted you? That man didn't remember who you were, sweetheart. And you're over here like, yeah, I know, like I trust him. Girl, he didn't know who you were.
The crazy thing is I think people forget the voting piece and how it doesn't
TT did.
matter. Huh? He
TT
did?
did. No, I
TT
said TT did. She
how did
forgot the
she
voting.
oh, 100%. I mean, the way she came into that villa with like guns blazing,
Look,
literally.
and here's the thing, especially when you're coming in as a Casa girl, it historically, the audience does not usually like Casa girls. There are
Yeah.
very few Casa girls that people have ever liked. And I think probably one of the only ones that people really did like was Taylor from Bergie season, because Taylor was the first one to really give Bergie a chance, and she was genuinely a nice girl. She's probably one of the only ones, and maybe Daniela after that for Leah's season. I've
Yeah.
never really seen people like Casa girls, not in the history of the time that I've been watching it and from what I can remember. So coming in as a Casa girl, you are already target number one, because we saw last year even Clark was pretty cool, but because she was a Casa girl and that whole situation with Taylor and Alandria and her stealing
Oh
Taylor, people
yeah.
weren't gonna like her already.
Yeah.
And she knew that. And she acknowledged that. She was like, I knew I was gonna be in the bottom because I'm a Casa girl and because I'm with Taylor. So given that, it's already acknowledged they are not a fan favorite, meaning they usually need to be very careful about how they go about things, and especially depending on who they're partnered with. If people don't like how that person went, you will absolutely be target number one either way. And people, I've already seen people saying they were already gonna vote her out. She was already gonna be gone because people did not like how Casey went about that whole thing.
It
But
was just
then the way she spoke to the OGs, people do not like that either. And so, because you're talking to people and about people that the audience has grown to love for 4 weeks now. Where did you think you were gonna be right in that?
I don't I mean, I just don't understand the need like you don't have to disrespect. You don't have to I think that's unnecessary.
And not to mention people that you don't know. And I know, granted, it's the same thing that technically we do out here,
Yeah.
but it makes it worse because they're coming in with that mindset though. They're like, well, I've seen everything she's done. I don't like her. You haven't met her. And mind you, the same thing you're saying you're seeing. And again, granted, we're all like
We're all
we're all
doing the
front.
same
Yeah,
thing.
but
Yeah.
we're frenemies with these people, but we'll go to bat for them too. So it's like don't. It's like no, no, no. But at the same time, it's still the difference is a lot of us are never going to meet these people. And we're seeing both sides of the conversations plus the confessionals. These people are going in with this mindset that they think they know them and they think it's okay to be disrespectful. And they're getting that confirmation because of the way the boys are talking about them disrespectfully as well. Because the boys are also feeding that like it's okay to speak disrespectfully about these people because we do too.
I mean, I've been seeing Love Island for a while,
And I
for
do know that was a
a
contradiction,
few.
but move past that.
I've been seeing Love Island for a few seasons, and I can't, since I
Three,
think
I think, since
that
season.
we weren't the first time we saw it, we were in Santa Monica, right? That
I
was
think it
the
was
first
either
time.
season 2 or season 3 because it was Cachet season.
But I've never seen that disrespect towards people or women. So
I've never seen that.
that was hard to watch.
No, it was, and especially with a lot of the comments that were being made, they like obviously we've seen people kind of switch up their tone a little bit during
Yeah,
Casa. We've seen that a lot. That's not necessarily super surprising.
but that's not what we're talking about.
No, but like what we were seeing this time around was blatant, disgusting disrespect.
Yeah, it wasn't my, I don't know. It was just not okay. But I want to switch it up to the positive. I have to say that seeing Bryce and Trinity, first of all, they just became the most unexpected couple to root for. And I'm going to predict that they're going to win because
I'm telling you right now,
they
they're winning.
made me believe that love is possible on Love Island. Like
Stop, because
and
we've seen
it's
it
not
before.
like, I'm not saying they're gonna get married, get engaged, but just that
I
they
bet you they might.
genuinely like each other. Like
They
when I saw
do.
him walk in,
And then he started
that was
running.
not
If it
fake.
wasn't
That was
because
not fake.
if it wasn't because he had to like stand at, stand up there and talk to Ariana while she's like asking questions, I'm telling you right now, that man it would have been a straight shot to Trinity. It
That
would
was
straight shot
fake.
to
I was
Trinity.
like, it was sweet. It was a sweet
Well,
moment.
and you know what really tells you how real it was? We've seen how much Zach has gone to bat for that man. That is his man.
I s-
We've seen him go to bat for
Did you
him.
see his eyes,
Because for a lot of
face?
it, yep, exactly. For a lot of it, he was like, I don't know if Trinity likes you. And that was obviously like him protecting his bestie, whatever. And then, but seeing when Trinity was talking about him and how quickly like he started getting emotional and his eyes got red really fast and it looked like he was holding in tears. That
I
man,
thought
I
he was
think
gonna
for himself,
cry.
but also for his best friend, he knew this girl really likes him and he really likes her. Like
I'm actually, they're
he
the
was
sleeper
waiting for
couple
that
for
moment.
me. They're the
Yeah.
sleeper couple for
But I
sure.
told you they reminded me of like Serena and Cordell, where everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Nah, these two don't like each other. She don't like him," and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And look at them now; they're still living their best life. And I genuinely think it's because they created that foundation as friends and worked into it. Like they didn't force a
I
bond
mean,
on themselves.
it doesn't work for everyone because usually you're looking for that spark. Like they talk to you about, I think since you're the age of 14, it's like, oh my God, the butterflies, the spark. Like, and that's what you're always chasing. But the truth is, friendship is important in a
Yeah,
relationship. So
because
it
it's all.
doesn't start as fireworks.
And then the thing is that when I think a lot of people when they say those things, they forget that you're not always gonna have that spark throughout your relationship. Sometimes, especially I think once you're with someone for 10 plus, 20
Yeah.
plus years, one of the things that I've heard most often from people who have been together for like 30, 40 years is that you have to continue like creating that spark and you have to constantly like work on that friendship because you're not always going to have it and sometimes you're going to go 6 months where you're like I don't like you right now but like
Yes, people are going, I
yeah
mean,
but it's also constantly working on that spark cuz y'all are still changing like the longer you are with each
yes,
other you're going to continue to change and being with
100%.
somebody 40 plus years we're talking about the person that you met them when
I
maybe
know.
they've been together for 45 married for 40
That's
from
crazy.
like let's say they were 22 to 60, 65. Let's say
That's
65 because
crazy,
I
right?
know my math's a little wrong but like you're we're talking about a large portion of time in which you've dealt with a lot of things and you have to
Yeah.
be I think in order to be in a mature and a mature relationship but also in a relationship that's gonna work long term you have to be okay with people changing throughout that and your relationship changing with that and it's not to
Yeah.
say like and obviously if you feel time is ready for like the end of the relationship then that's a then you know it's ready. But like it's also having to know the difference between, is our relationship dead because it's genuinely dead, or have we just temporarily lost the spark because we are in in a tough period of our lives, or maybe we're dealing with something that has us like hating each other at the moment, and like, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is that especially we see it, I think, on Love Island a lot. And granted, they're not in these long relationships, but they're always looking for that, for like, oh my God, where's the spark? Where's the spark? Do I have the spark with this
Yeah.
person? And it's like, it's that's not necessarily what goes into it all the time, and
I
that's
think
not
most
necessarily
people look
what.
for that.
Yeah, and it's, but it's also like the couples that we've seen last the longest usually start out with some kind of like friendship, or
That's true.
there's some kind of, and they usually go through like their, you know, whatever Love Island will throw at them, and they'll have their ups and downs and stuff like that. And when I just want to make sure this is known, when I say this, I am not talking about Sincere and Trinity. I mean Sincere and Melanie. Sorry,
Well,
I'm talking about them
I
together.
well,
They are together because they are day ones, and that is what they know, but not
but
because they fit together. They are not
no, but
compatible.
there is such a thing as toxic love, and I think
Yeah,
that's kind of what keeps them together. It's the toxicity.
because because
So
for
when
people it's addicting.
so that's how I knew that she was gonna pick him. And he was I actually he surprised me because I did think he was gonna walk in with Amora
I
because there was definitely a thing there, but the toxicity is like a drug. Like you keep wanting that.
See, here's the thing though. I did think so for a second too, but I also would, I think that was just more my like, I need y'all to stop being so toxic and stop going back to each other brain. But the only reason I kind of figured he wouldn't was because of the fact that he knew that that girl was going to be there waiting for him. Because if he wasn't going to get up,
Oh,
she wasn't either.
that's
And we know that. And he loves, because if that was the case, Amara wouldn't even have been an issue. Soul would still be here because he would have chosen Soul.
so I'm going to predict that Amara is gonna come back because I think, and I did
I don't
vote
think
for
a lot
her,
of people really
but
cared which Villa girl came back, to be honest.
but
I
I
think
think
everybody
it's
wanted.
about, I don't even think it's really about sort of helping Melanie realize that he is not going to change. And
No,
I
but
I
she needs to
really
see it like, and I think
in her face
honestly,
again, but
unfortunately,
she saw it with Soul, by
well,
the way.
but the thing is, I think Soul was different. Because Soul seemed to have a bit more of that like respectfulness from what we've heard from
Yeah,
Soul.
yeah.
She did have conversation with Melanie. It didn't sound like they were like besties or anything, but like they were relatively cordial, like
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
true.
things.
But I
And
don't think Amora
Melanie
has
still.
the same vibe.
Exactly. And especially because remember, Amora is now, she's not coming in at, well, they probably call her like a Casa bombshell, but she's not coming in necessarily as a bombshell where it's her job to break up couples. She would be coming back as a Casa girl with the intentions very likely of getting back or trying to get
Oh,
back with Cynthia.
100%.
So she's not going to have that level, any level of respect that I think
Yeah,
a
that's true.
bombshell usually would, because a bombshell, there's a very big difference between a bombshell and a Casa girl, given that bombshells, it's their job to come in and, you know, shake things up. But the other thing with that too is that they don't know anyone that's there. On the other
Oh,
hand,
yes, that's
this
right.
girl
They've
coming in
made a
as a Casa
connection.
girl,
Yeah.
they've made a connection. So she no longer cares about Melanie and that connection. She doesn't need, she in her head she wouldn't need to respect it because her and Sincere had a connection.
It's gonna be so messy. So with Amora potentially returning, because I do think she's gonna come back, and Carl, I think that's a landslide vote.
I'm telling you, it was two times the amount of votes for the boys than it was for the girls.
So
And
who do
I'm gonna
you?
assume a lot of those were for Carl. I
I
know
think
some
so.
people wanted to bring back the one that Melanie was talking to, but a lot of people kind of, from what I saw, they were like, why? There's no point in bringing either Che, or it was his
Yeah,
name Ronnie? It wasn't Ronnie. What was his name?
Corey.
Corey. Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people were like, there's no point in bringing back Corey
no.
or Che because neither one of
Well,
those girls are
Kata
indicating
and
that.
Zach are pretty locked in, and so I saw this
They
clip,
should
and
tell Kato why.
the first thing I thought was, well, he came back to Kata, Zach came back to Kata by default, but then I saw some videos, and he did say he was missing her, like I
Mm,
don't think it's totally by default,
I don't
although
think it's 100% by default,
his
but
angel was. removed quietly from
Yeah,
Casa.
see, and that's my thing because like we don't at the end of the day, we don't really know if that's what's gonna happen. Because
Yeah,
we also don't know when she was removed. Was she removed a day ago? Was she removed same day? Was she removed 2 days ago? Because a lot, especially if if she was removed, let's say we started seeing it on Sunday, right?
yeah,
And by Tuesday night, she was removed, or Wednesday early morning. He had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to really sit and miss her. And we don't know the difference,
yeah,
realistically
that's
speaking,
true.
because production is working with, what is it, 16 hours worth of film that we see in an hour. We
By
don't
the
know
by
how
the way, the
long.
editing this season is
It's rough. It's a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. But
hard to
we
watch.
don't know realistically how long he was sitting in that. And if she'd been left until, right up until coming back in, would he have brought her back? Like realistically, we
That's
don't know those
yeah,
things,
that's true.
especially because think about it, like if she was removed 2 days ago, yeah, I too would assume that he would start saying that he misses Kata and a lot more frequently because he doesn't have anybody to talk to. Because even Bryce was out of it. Bryce wasn't even putting up with their bromance. That man was depressed.
Yeah, they
Every
didn't
time you
seem
looked
to
at
have
Bryce,
any.
even when Sydney went to talk to him, he was still like, yeah, like I'm not, like
He
you
he
guys are
just
kind of cool, but like I don't,
he
not
wasn't
what I
into it.
want. He didn't care.
So with Amora and Carl potentially returning, that's
Yeah,
my
Carl was
prediction.
probably a shoo-in.
Who do you think is about to set off the biggest freaking drama?
I would assume more. I mean, Carl, I'm telling you right now, I think Carl,
He's so
he seems
composed.
like, yeah, even
Yeah.
even during that situation, like I think personally, if I was him, I kind of would have been a bit nervous because, at the end of the day, like we see that Casey didn't really care because she was alone. So, but how would that have been different
Mm.
if she wasn't? And how, and we don't, although he's writing her off, would that still remain the same if she has a guy in that villa that
He
really wants to like give her that like that fairy tale feeling that and that the what do you call that, oh my god, just like that gentlemanness that he claimed didn't exist, that whole opening the doors and like what do you call that again, chivalry. Because
okay.
in Casey's world, chivalry is dead. It does not exist. And she's saying she wants that. And you have Carl over here talking about how he made a mixtape for a girl. He didn't sound great, but he made one anyways. And that was exactly what she wanted.
Well, I don't know.
So,
I think it'll be interesting because I see Casey as having this inflated ego, and that is never a good thing. That is never
but
a
I
good
think
thing.
in that's why in terms of like I think it'll be interesting to see because I'm gonna talk like Carl's already here. If I'm wrong next week, we won't talk about it. I'll probably be depressed about that one. But like I think it'll make such a difference to see how he reacts depending on if Carl's in that villa or not. Because right now, again, he's still working off of, well, I'm the shit. She's alone. She's probably still wanting me, blah, blah, blah.
So
And she doesn't
they
have
don't
anybody
know
else.
that they don't know about the
No, we don't
vote.
know anything
That's
about
gonna
any
be
of that stuff.
interesting.
I kind of
That's
wish
gonna be
Ariana would have
interesting.
thrown in a little, America's watching, but maybe, but she didn't. She said, "I'll see you really soon." If she would have thrown in a little,
Whenever she says
we're
that, I get
always
scared.
watching.
I'm like, oh my,
Oh,
she's
I get
coming back.
excited, especially now because I'm telling you right now, the only reason that they switched, because we don't normally vote to bring people back in. I don't remember or I don't recall ever having a vote like that. They knew, I think they knew even during alone, just playing it back and editing that, they knew they couldn't use who are you voting out because everybody would vote to take out Corbin and take out Casey. And
So
that's a fact.
what do you think about TT and Trinity? You think there's no love lost there? Do you think they're gonna get along in the villa?
No, I genuinely think they might
And
need
they get
to
dressed
remove.
together, get ready together. I'm like,
That's what I'm
oh my
saying. And like,
god.
given the tension, that tension alone, and especially when Shorty's over here talking about, I'm TT, like, and she was like,
She
oh,
had the stands
you're a
and
little
all.
girl.
She had the stands.
You're a little girl. Stop talking to me. And Trinity's like, because Trinity and I are the same age. So Trinity's over here like, excuse me? And first of
Oh,
all,
that's right, because
I just
the
want to
Casa
say,
girls are the college girls and the
yes, and the
Villa
Villa girls
girls are
are
the
high
high
school
school girls.
girls.
I'm like, oh my god,
First of
stop.
all, if Trinity's a little girl, then what the fuck is Casey? Because Casey is also like 23. I'm like, girl, you're 27 and you're acting like that same little girl you
Yeah,
talking about.
that
So
that that was
what are you
crazy.
actually like? I mean,
That was crazy.
I'm like,
So
so what are you actually saying? Because if she's a little girl and he's a little boy and you're dating a little boy,
so I want to do a really quick fire before we start wrapping up. Favorite couple, Bryce and
is it
Trinity. How
necessary?
about you guys? What do you guys think? Who's your favorite couple? Favorite moment?
I'm not gonna lie. It was all well,
I'm trying to think.
I loved that Brinity moment when he ran over and he was like, "Oh, like I just want to get back to my girl." I
And
thought that
then
was so.
see, I was like,
Oh my
oh,
God, when I saw them both pull out that yellow,
okay, they're on
I
the
was like,
same way.
that's. But then at the
Or-
same time, I'm not gonna lie, it was also the girls eating up both Corbin, Parmida, what's that other one named Casey and TZ because they were eating them
Yeah,
up.
the girls band together. Oh wait,
Even Kata,
my
Kata came
favorite
out.
moment. No, my favorite moment I have to say, Melanie when Anaya was breaking down and she said, "No, not here, girl.
She
Uh-uh.
said,
You're
"You're
not
not right
cry
here."
here." Yes, because
I was
that's
like,
what I
"That's a good
do
friend."
to my girl. 100%. So
I'm like,
that was
that's
actually
what
my favorite moment,
that's what
seeing
friends
the
should do.
girls. Absolutely.
And
That
I
was
know
my
for some
favorite
people
moment.
that might be very like, oh, why isn't she just letting her have her feelings? Like,
No,
and I'm like,
no,
no,
not
I'm
in
like,
front
no,
of
that is what your friend should
and they
do.
were smirking too, which made it so much worse.
Cause that girl and that boy did not care.
And then Carl, he you could see it,
Bro,
like you could see it was palpable.
they lucky that people can't fly to Fiji like that. Cause
I
I
know.
guarantee you there would have been a stampede
So
going
who
at each
broke the
other.
messy meter? I think that shit is out of order at this point because it was a messy week
I can't tell you
between
anymore.
temperature rising, freaking the heart rate challenge. There was so much messiness there. I thought it was borderline soft porn. It was like it was
Well, once no, the soft came with freaking Corbin and Parmita at the what's it called? That challenge, the Villa versus Casa challenge. I'm like,
there.
why are we
Wait,
undressing her?
no,
Why
wait,
are we undressing her?
nobody has mentioned this, and I'm going to mention it. Kayda and Melanie making out. Did
Oh
you?
yeah, people have mentioned that.
I haven't. I haven't seen it.
They went straight to each other.
I was like, okay, all right. Well, they
At
did
least
win the challenge. They
in the
did win the
villa, the
challenge.
girls were all making out with each other.
And then the whole thing about Clam Slam. I mean, guys, that was a lot. That I was like, oh my
I'm
god.
sorry, when I saw her do her revenge splits, I was screaming.
That's her intro line. That's her.
I'm like, you know what? You go, girl.
Go, Kenzie. The wildest twist of the week.
Do
I'm
we
trying to
really
think.
have a wild?
Wildest twist of the week
I don't
was
think we do.
definitely seeing Good Girls Gone Bad or Casa Girls Gone Bad. I don't even know what to call it at this point.
I mean,
To me, that was the
it started
wildest
when
shit that
Corbin
happened.
came in, and that was when it started. Like that set them off immediately when Corbin came in with
Oh yeah, with
Parmita.
Parmita. Yeah, that's true. That's
Because and then Parmita only made it worse because she over here. First of all, she thought Kenzie was gonna be her biggest battle. She was like, "I'm not scared of that bitch. Kenzie was not the one you had to
because
worry
they
about."
were.
You
Yeah,
first of all, I want to give it to Kata. Kata really should get
I didn't
her
know
chain
Kata
because
had that in her. New
either
Hampshire, right?
I
Or
was
New Hampshire.
I don't know because her and Che were talking about a Boston accent, so I'm not really sure. Maybe she grew up because they're like
I
right next to each other. No,
yeah.
yeah. So like
I
maybe
was
she grew up a
surprised to
lot or
see
spent a
that.
lot of time in Boston.
Yeah.
But I at one point I wish I remembered who she was talking to. But I heard that Boston accent come out, and I was like, I didn't hear it until now. Kato was eating down when Shorty said, "What did she say?" She said something about, "I trust that man. I trust this man." And Kato said, "I wouldn't."
But that was definitely the wildest twist of the week. How
Actually, yeah,
about
Kato was the
wait, worthy cringe moment? Because there was so many.
Parmita.
I think
Not even a
Parmina
moment,
and
just Parmita.
I think part yeah, I think
I'm
I'm
like,
gonna
why
agree
are
with
you
you.
defending this man? And see, here's always my
I'm
biggest thing.
hot, you're hot.
And not even just that, but it's
That
here's
was
my
a
always
cringe
my biggest
moment
thing.
for me. I'm
I'm
sorry.
like, why y'all are defending a man that is sitting there quietly as you're getting torn up?
I know.
And
Right.
like, and I mean, Casey did try to shut her up at one point. He was like, "It's okay," and she just kept going. So then she created for herself. But it was like with Parmina, you're like, first of all, you're jumping into conversations that generally have nothing to do with you. You think you're defending, and I understand people were like, "Oh well, if it was the other way around, Trinity would definitely," and like somebody was disrespecting Bryce, like Trinity would definitely have jumped in. The difference is if they're not coming in, Trinity wasn't coming in with somebody that she known for 3 days. If she was defending Bryce, it would have been because she'd known him for 4 weeks, probably defending him from somebody that was going to try to talk shit about him after knowing him for 3 days.
It was messy.
And it's
So,
like, and I don't like the whole jumping into conversations that have nothing to do with you, because it was the same thing with TT jumping in when they were asking Casey a direct question. And she's like, "Well, Casey thinks blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Why are you talking for him?" And even like, even what's her name, Anaya was like, "He's a grown man. Like he can respond for himself." And that's what they were all trying to say. Like, we're not respectfully, we are not speaking to you. We are addressing this grown ass man that's sitting right next to you. And so it's
well,
like that's kind of
we're
weird to
gonna
me.
have to
But
see what happens. Bold predictions for the vote on Sunday. I say Carl and Amor are coming back.
that's my guess. I mean, I don't remember who Sydney was partnered with. I think she was trying to get to know KC, but KC
Right.
was
She
like,
was trying to get to know everyone.
I think she was trying to get to know select people. Nobody was gonna get to know Bryce. She didn't seem to like Zach too much. I think she tried with Sincere, but that wasn't really like doing it. So I
Oh,
think she really was trying to get to know KC, because remember, wasn't it KC that he was flipping back and forth?
yeah.
Different girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, she was trying to get to know him.
Yeah,
Obviously,
TT wasn't
he
having
made
that.
his choice. So, it didn't
He
even
didn't have
like
a choice there.
no, but
TT was
between
like,
oh, that's true. But that's the crazy thing. She also pulled, like, respectfully, also kind of pulled an Anaya when she was like, "I'm not doing this with you. You keep flipping back and forth between us, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Girl, you knew the man for 24 hours.
oh,
Relax."
wait, before we sign off, I forgot to even mention
Oh.
Caleb and Jada and Jaden.
I
God,
forgot they was there. But I'm not gonna lie, Caleb had me crying when he found out that about the live stream. He said,
I
"And
wasn't
milk is,"
expecting
oh,
that.
and let me tell you, Ariana was having a time being the one to tell
That, by the
about
way,
that
whoever her
live
style,
stream.
and I said this last year, whoever her style, for I have to mention these two things. Whoever her stylist is, I mean, loves her. Loves her. That red dress with the back, the peekaboo. I mean, she is just, she's killing it. Ariana Maddox is killing it. And Ian, I have to give him props again because he had me dying again this week.
I'm almost wondering. I'm like, Ian, did you have more that you could not say because you were a little tame this episode?
It was definitely fire, and I think the coming week the sparks will be even bigger.
I'm
So
telling you right now, I can't wait because we're gonna start getting into that point where they're gonna do, I think, dumpings more frequently, I would assume.
dumping, and I'm hoping for movie night. And I didn't think I would say that, but I think we
I'm
need a movie night.
see, here's in my head, this is what I want. I would love to see on Sunday the results, obviously.
Okay.
On Monday, I would love to have movie night to follow immediately after. And then on Monday night to do another vote, or on Tuesday. And then on Friday to do another vote, because we need to start. There's a lot of people up in this house. We need to start
Yeah.
voting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we shall see what happens. We've got new couples, bruised egos, and Casa Amor is in flames. It's actually still burning, and the inferno has spread to the villa. Next week, we find out whose connection is real, who's faking it until they're dumped. But we'll be back with all the recap. I'll talk to you soon, loves. Bye.
Give me Jesus.